Managing Money. Welcome to lesson number 5. As you can see, I have the calculator and the pen. What a beautiful picture. Next slide. How do you manage your money? That's a great question. Money management is a daunting task for many people. Some people simply cash their paychecks and spend every dime. Other people scrutinize every purchase, track expenses, and manage their investments. Each culture has a different approach to financial management. Chinese have high savings, whereas Americans are highly indebted to the Chinese, of course. Some nations, like Zimbabwe, have such out-of-control finances that money loses its value within days. Although the Zimbabwe government has that under control a little bit. Okay, let's go through this daunting task. I think I actually have that. Yeah, here we go. Daunt. If something is daunting, it means you're overcome with fear or it's intimidating. So to intimidate, to be overcome with fear. Okay, even thinking about going back to school is daunting, right? If you want to go, no. If you're thinking about going to school, it's intimidating. You're scared, right? The exam daunts Charles. He doesn't know any of the answers, right? So this exam, he's scared because he didn't study hard, or he simply doesn't understand the answers. Now this is probably the worst. Marriage can be daunting. Oh yes, can it ever? This guy's probably terrified out of his mind. So let's go to the next slide. Scrutinize. Scrutinize is to examine something in detail or to focus much attention on. So, for example, the car dealer scrutinizes the cleanliness of every automobile. That means he looks very closely for dirt to clean off any dirt. So he's keeping the cars very clean, examining in detail. Harry's mother scrutinized his appearance before the movie. So if Harry is going to the movie with his friends and his mother doesn't like the way he's dressed, doesn't like his t-shirt or his pants, she can scrutinize his appearance if she focuses much attention on it. And you could also say this intricately produced building is the artist scrutinized for years to produce masterful architecture. For example, this architecture just means buildings or houses or whatever. So next is approach. An approach, if it's a noun, it's a way of doing something. Or a verb is to get close to. So for example, as a noun, the artist's approach to painting is unique among the French. The French is just the French people, right? Many celebrities are not approachable due to their fame. That means you cannot get close to them because they're famous. Everybody knows about them. John approached the Walmart to apply for a job. So this is a verb. He's getting close to the Walmart. He's going up to the Walmart to apply for a job. Farming in rows is an effective approach. That's a verb. That's a noun. Approach as a noun. So this is a way of doing farming, right? Indebted has a couple of meanings. The first is to owe money or a favor. A favor means you have to do something for somebody. So let's say my friend John, he washes my car. I owe him a favor, so maybe I will paint his house or I'll cut his grass or something. The other way of having being indebted is to have debt. So like you have a credit card, you have a loan, a mortgage. The United States is a highly indebted nation. So okay, let me think. Indebted here would be an adjective because it's describing the nation. The nation is the United States. So you could also say the United States has a lot of debt. You saved my life. I am indebted to you. So what you're saying here is that I owe you something because you saved me. This is often just an expression. It doesn't mean, oh, I'm going to give you something. It means like, oh, I'm indebted to you. Like, oh, thank you. I can't thank you enough, you know. Next one is, I am in so much debt. Yes. That's kind of a dumb example. Okay. Look at this house. That's pretty small. Martha borrowed $4,000 to buy this house. She is indebted $4,000. Yeah, so this little house, which is like a shed basically, she bought it for $4,000, and she had a mortgage to get this house. So that means she is indebted $4,000. No, I'll back up. Okay, money management is a daunting task for many people. So money management is just how do you spend your money and how do you save it and what do you do with it. Remember, daunting was being scared. So if money management is scary, then some people just cash their paychecks and spend every dime. They spend all the money. Other people scrutinize every purchase. Remember, scrutinize was to examine in detail, to see every little thing. Track expenses and manage their investments. Track expenses means to make a list of all, okay, I spent food, I was spending money on my car, on my house, and every month you track how much money you spent. And manage your investments is basically, you can just put the money in the bank, you can buy bonds, stocks, mutual funds, you can invest in real estate, you can buy gold, silver, you can do Forex, etc. Or you can start your own business. It's probably the best idea, but anyway, each culture has a different approach to financial management. Yeah, isn't that the case? Like the Chinese have high savings, like 30%. And Americans are just crazy in debt. Okay, let me find where I was here. Professional money managers. Now this is a kind of an oxymoron. There is a clan of highly paid bankers, and it is a clan. It's like I used to do this actually, sort of, but you're basically just taking people's money and just moving it around, and you make a lot of money, but your customers don't really make any money. Anyway, there is a clan of highly paid bankers who call themselves professional money managers. They always tell stories of profits and fast cars. But are they trying to help you, or are they trying to help themselves? They invest your money with no guarantee of profit, yet they charge a fee for every transaction. For instance, a mutual fund will charge up to 3% of your money every year. After 33 years, you'll have nothing unless your investments are profitable. It's actually, I think it's more like 60 years, because every year your money goes down, so it's 3% of a lower value, but you get the point, right? So they're like, oh, professional? What is professional? Well, professional just means this is your job. So if you invest people's money in a mutual fund, that's your job. That's all that professional means. It doesn't mean good. It doesn't mean helpful. But a lot of people think that, oh, professional, that means he's good. No. Professional just means that's what your job is. You can be a professional electrician or a professional carpenter and do a garbage job. You can do terrible work, and you're still a professional because that's your job, right? So look at this. Why pay someone to gamble your money? Exactly. Like you got this guy. This is just a stock photo from this site, but let's pretend that this guy is a money manager and you give him your money and he just buys stocks and whatever. Tells you a nice story. Okay, fine. That's not really a good thing to do. Next is our key vocabulary is a professional. Okay, it's a specific job like this. Okay. I'm a professional carver, or a high quality job. It's not really what it is, but people think it's a high quality job. So the professional electrician installed our lights properly. That's what people think. Because he's a professional, it means he did it good. Well, that's not always the case. Susan is a professional chef. She only works as a cook. Exactly. This is what it is. She only works as a cook. It doesn't mean she's a good cook. In fact, most chefs are terrible. My profession is authoring books about animals. Yeah, like my profession is making these videos about nonsense like this guy. Okay, anyway. Key vocabulary. Mutual fund. A mutual fund is an investment with many different people managed by professionals. So you have many different people putting their money in one, basically an account, and it's managed by so-called professionals. They're just highly paid people who sit in the office and do nothing. But anyway, another example is this mutual fund charges 2% per year. That's a high cost. It is a high cost. I think mutual funds are a scam. They are a scam. Most of them make less money than the stock market. It's actually 99% make less money than the stock market over a 10-year period. If you do a search, it's pretty bad. A suit doesn't mean profits. Mutual funds take your money. Yes, they do. Fluency practice. Our key words today are daunt, daunting, scrutinize, approach, indebted, professional, and mutual fund. So here we go. If you take upon yourself the daunting task of approaching a mutual fund professional, you must be careful to scrutinize his motives. Even though he calls himself a professional, the title only implies that he only does one thing for a living. Remember, professional doesn't necessarily mean good. A person can be a professional bank lender only to cause people to be indebted. Such a job isn't helpful to those people who cannot afford the interest payments. Wow, that was a lot. So let me read this in easy words. If you do the scary thing of going to a mutual fund guy or investment guy, you must be careful to analyze and really think about what he really is doing. Even though he says he's a so-called professional, the title only says that he does one thing for a living. Remember, professional doesn't mean good. A person can be a professional bank lender and basically just make people have debt and owe money. Such a job is not helpful to those people who cannot pay the monthly interest on the loan. Wow, maybe I'll do the next slide. Questions. Number 1. What happens if you invest in a mutual fund? You are guaranteed to make profit? The mutual fund takes some of your money each year, or professionals send you money in the mail? The answer is B. The mutual fund takes some of your money every year. Which example is daunting? In other words, which one is scary? Getting out of bed in the morning? Starting a multinational company? Or eating a meal at McDonald's? Well, the most scary and intimidating one would be this one, starting a multinational company. Let's go to the last slide. Question number 3. Which approach is best for success? To be indebted a lot, to save a lot of money, or to hire professional money managers? Again, it's B. To save a lot of money. That is the best way to be successful. Which example would you scrutinize the most? The quality of pencils you just bought? Selecting a hotel in China? Or choosing the words on a business deal? Well, the answer is C.